All right, guys, welcome to Lakewood Days Local Yokels podcast. I'm Neil, your host, and first and foremost, I want to say, hey, be looking for the Jeep we're giving away through the Fancy Nancy Foundation, and it's on the behalf of House of Grace, and that all the proceeds are going to go to that. We're working with Spider Off-Road, MSJ, Rough Country, Local Yokels Podcast, Roofworks. All those great organizations are helping us with this Jeep. Get your tickets today. They're cheap. Now, on to the show. I've got Claudia and Miss Jessi of the Care Center of Southaven with us today. Welcome, guys.
Welcome. Thank you
ladies,
for having us.
Sorry. Yeah. Welcome, ladies. All right, guys. Well, ladies, I'm back to that again. I'm just so used to having men in here. Anyway, Miss Claudia, tell everybody who you are, what you do, and then we'll work our way around the table because I think this is an important topic.
Well, we really appreciate you having us.
You're welcome.
Because we're not very well known.
Well, that's the point of the show.
Not at all.
Yeah.
We oftentimes have people come in and say, "Oh, are you new? How long you been here?" We say, "Oh, well, 19 years." They have no idea.
It's been a minute.
And that's just the way it is. But the ladies find us, and that's the most important thing. But basically, we're the only free medical clinic for pregnant women in North Mississippi. So we began by just offering free pregnancy tests. We weren't a medical clinic at the beginning. And we grew from that with 3 small little rooms. And then the Lord enlarged our territory like 3 times.
Yeah.
And we became a medical clinic. We have a medical director, a board-certified OBGYN. We have doctors come, and our nurse practitioners. And we service the whole North Mississippi area.
Right, and people from other areas, too, that come in here.
Yes.
Yeah.
In transit.
In transit,
Right.
yeah. So some of the service y'all offer, I know we talk about, pregnancies, taking care of the mothers, the babies, prenatal care, things of that nature. But you also do, like, STD testing, all that kind of stuff throughout the clinic, correct?
No, actually, we don't.
No?
No.
So it's strictly just prenatal, all that stuff. I got you. So it's pregnancy-centric.
Yes.
I got you.
Yes.
Okay. Well, carry on.
But, I mean, not that we don't ignore that.
I understand. Yeah, but it ain't like you can walk in, hey, I think I got a problem, check me out.
Yeah.
No, it's really focused on mothers and the babies. Simple as that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's free. So people have no idea. We talk about it. I get hoarse talking about it. Usually, probably a few times a week, people don't know about us. Or we have certain situations come in, and it's heartbreaking because we do the initial testing. Our objective is they come in, we do the pregnancy testing, we'll calculate how far along they are. Then the next step, we'll generally schedule an ultrasound so we can confirm the data and that they are actually pregnant. And then ask if they have insurance.
Sure.
So we help them acquire Medicaid if they don't. And even if they come in, oh no, we have, I like to say gold-plated Cigna, which doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And if they're under 9 weeks or if they're over 19, no OB will see them. Now, no one comprehends this.
That is wild.
We deal with this all the time.
You would think that they would, any situation, right? You think anybody would see you in any situation when it comes to pregnancy, but they have a restrictive laws in place, correct?
No, not necessarily. It's probably liability.
Oh, okay.
And so when they come to us, we know, like, for instance, applying for Medicaid will take at least 45 days, and they don't always know what to do.
Sure.
And so we give them a packet, basically, with the information, where to go, what to do, what to bring along, and now we're having them do it online and submit a paper copy.
Sure.
And from that point, once they submit it, it's at least 45 days. Now, because of, we told them with the holidays, Thanksgiving, so they're closed Thursday, Friday, Christmas, Thursday, Friday, New Year's, Thursday, Friday, and the snowstorm. So we say, we don't know what to say.
Right.
It's probably going to be quite a bit longer, but the problem is we have to get this all done when they call their OB, and we provide them with a list of doctors. When they call up to make an appointment, the first thing they ask, do you have insurance?
Right.
Well, I'm waiting.
Sure.
And they don't make the appointment.
Yeah.
So it's very time sensitive for us to do that. So we see that we have them return for checkups now every 4 weeks. And we say we're committed to them until they start with a doctor.
Right.
But then we find out they can't start with a doctor. They found out they're too far and they won't see them.
Wow.
And so we didn't start providing this service, but we felt we had to. What do they do? And it's a cross section of our community. It's people assume that they're all pregnant teenagers. They're not. Actually, that's a minority.
Yeah.
It's we've had teachers, principals, firefighters, policemen, soldiers, guardsmen, you name it.
Right.
An absolute cross section. Or people who move here, they're so excited. Newlyweds, they're found out they're pregnant. They want to get a doctor, and they can't. And the out-of-pocket expense is exorbitant.
So, this is an ongoing problem in our society today. It's profit over people, and our whole medical industry, Miss Claudia, has gone to that. So that, unfortunately, you're just talking about the most precious gift we have is life for a new child to come in this world. And we've got doctors that are saying, oh, no, I can't. That's too liable. It costs me too much money, or I can't see you. You said the first thing they asked, do you have insurance? You know what I mean? Yeah. I mean, those are the things that, so y'all saw a need as a clinic to provide a service at great cost and risk of your own, to go out and step out on a limb and help these people.
Have to.
Yeah. Cause you have it in your heart. It's a calling. Yeah.
See?
Yeah.
You said it.
You were telling me that before the show. We were talking about that. Miss Claudia's like, you got it in you, Neil. Yeah. So,
it's there.
So yeah, I mean, that's amazing. And I guess in the beginning, like you said, you started out with just being a pregnancy testing center. And then how long did it take before it morphed into being, I guess, little by little, you just started doing more and more?
It's a really long story. It's really long.
We got a while.
But I'm long-winded.
Yeah.
It actually preceded our opening the Care Center because the origins, there was an abortion clinic on Highway 51 around the vicinity of 51 and Goodman Road.
Okay.
And so many of the churches were very much opposed to that and would picket it daily or weekends or whatever for odd and
This must have been a while ago because I don't even remember that.
Yeah, probably over 20 years ago.
Yeah. And so it was to no avail.
Right.
And then of a day, which was a move of God, an adjacent church was having a Super Bowl special services, which ended up going like way into the night. Mm-hmm. It was quite a spontaneous revival. And during the course of that, some people came forward and they said, we've been picketing that abortion clinic. I want to donate some jewelry. Maybe we can buy it. That was the beginning. Okay. And more people came forward and they said, oh, I'd buy it. It's not even for sale.
Right.
And I'm paraphrasing. So when they inquired about it, the owner said, well, yeah, I'll entertain that because they were in arrears in their rent.
Oh.
And
gotcha.
so it ended up they did purchase it.
Gotcha.
And they made it into church offices. Simultaneously, down the road, which was the old Ayer Optical Building, the first pregnancy center opened, which was just a test center, with which I was involved starting it. And they ended up moving, and then it just kind of deteriorated, so they closed unceremoniously. And I felt that that was a mistake. Mm-hmm. And so that was the long story part of it. I called up all the directors. I called up a number of people. I had volunteered and then supported it.
Sure.
And I said, surely we can just reorganize, or we have a small group that could reinvent this and keep it going. The details I don't remember other than when I called and the answer was no.
Wow.
And there were some pastors, business people, they didn't feel that necessity. And I said, if one baby's saved, I mean, isn't that worth it?
Yeah.
You downsize, you just reorganize? No. So I said, no, it's not enough. So we proceeded to reorganize it, but it took us like 5 years.
Right. A lot of work.
It was.
Yeah.
It was a little just
5 years is a long time. That's a long time to kind of be involved in a passion of just trying to, and you probably didn't know from day to day what was going to happen next. Back in those days, you just had a goal and you had a dream, and here you are now, 19, almost 20 years later, providing an amazing service to our community. So thank you for that, Miss Claudia.
I was thinking the other day, because someone came in the beginning, we got this little place, which is a miracle to hear that. But someone came in, we were sitting there carrying on as usual, and she said, what are you doing, just sitting there? And I said, well, the Lord will send people because everything was set up. And that's ridiculous. You got to go out and do something. That's ridiculous. And she left it. And sure enough, and people, literally, the first client stumbled in the door.
Wow.
And what are you doing? What is this?
Yeah.
Some people thought we were a pet store.
Oh my goodness.
We had birds and a fish tank.
I gotcha.
And so
just for decor. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And she had this. It was a convoluted story. She was very concerned about her daughter who wouldn't leave her room,
right,
and was an A student. And she was concerned. Do we do counseling? We said, oh, yes.
Yes.
So she brought her in.
Yeah.
And the first question I asked, do you think you're pregnant? Yeah. And so she gives that testimony to this day.
Sure.
So it all worked out.
Yes. That's great, man. That's a great story. Well, I'm going to move over to Jessi just for a minute. We'll tell her, everybody tell her role. Jessi, welcome today.
Hi.
Yeah.
How are y'all doing?
I'm doing good. Make sure you tell everybody who you are and how you got involved and what your role is.
All right. So my name is Jessi. I've been involved with the Care Center since 2010. Me and Claudia met at State Line Animal Clinic. Helped take care of her babies. I think I house sat for her a couple times too.
Babies as in animals.
Her puppies.
Yeah, puppies.
Yes.
Okay. I was
Sorry.
like, whoa.
Big
Yeah,
puppies.
let's clarify. I
Her
know.
big puppies.
I understand that in the world. I have some, I guess, children that are grand doggies, I guess, if you will. So, yeah.
Yeah, pets are like puppies
Yeah,
to
that's
me.
right.
Yeah, or babies, put it that way.
Yeah.
And when I left there, I wanted to maintain like my job skills. And I knew that she was the director of the Care Center. We had talked about it before. So I walked in thinking, all right, this is what I need to do. Do y'all have a need? Like, where can you put me to work?
This was like,
We need some help.
Please.
Yeah.
And I have a bit of a assertive personality and can take over and organize and consolidate. I mean, I'm just kind of that person.
She does everything.
Does she? She's amazing.
Absolutely.
And
We talk about her quite often, actually. We really, really missed her.
Yeah, because you're not working there anymore. You're just a volunteer, correct?
Yeah, I used to volunteer. I gave about 7 to 10 months, I think, of my time, like faithfully. I think we were open 4 days a week back then.
No, in the beginning, 6.
Six. It was a Saturday, wasn't it?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
So I was there faithfully
Yeah.
and just learning new things and meeting new people and honestly discipling. She discipled me.
Yeah.
Claudia did a lot in my early walk. So I knew God had a plan and a purpose for me to be there, and I was on board for it. I got a job at a Delta Technical College at a trade school to work in
Can I
financial aid.
interject? I'm sorry.
You can
That's her
interject.
job.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because the thing was, she volunteered, and we still do, had a very meager budget. And we were laughing the other day because maybe only a couple of years ago, to conserve, we never turned the water heater on in the bathroom.
Oh, wow.
And so in the middle of winter, we're washing with cold water.
Oh,
I
my
said, maybe
goodness.
we can afford the water heater.
Please get the hot water on,
It was
please.
pretty bad.
So you're saying that Miss Claudia is frugal? Is that what you're saying?
So she's young and she was looking for, an income, and we're like counting pennies. We literally, that was our main income, was a penny drive. And never mind that, but it was also insurance, benefits.
It
Yeah,
was.
for sure.
So
Yeah.
checking into benefits for like 3 people.
We talked about that before the show. We were talking about how you got to take care of yourself before you can take care of others.
You do.
That's a real. My friend Randy says that helps me with all the stuff I do. That's something that he reiterates constantly. It's just that part of it. You got to take care of yourself before you can help others. Because otherwise, what was the word you used earlier when you said it was talking about compassion? Syndrome, fatigue, something like that.
Where it can
That's
wear
a
you
real
out.
thing. Yeah, it'll
It
wear you
is.
out worrying about others, and sometimes people just like don't see it at times because they don't want to have that overcoming emotion of worrying about someone else. It is strenuous. I mean, I ain't gonna lie to you. I go through it myself.
Yeah.
So I can definitely see where you need to maintain a living, and that's highly important. And I think people don't realize when they got these nonprofits and care centers and things of that nature, there's a lot of people volunteering their time for free. You know what I mean? And there's so many people out here that's not going to do anything unless they make a dollar. And so there's a complete opposite spectrum of folks. If somewhere we met in the middle, on everybody, it'd be a great society.
It would be.
Yeah, like, I don't need to make money. Let me just go over and help you a little bit. Or, you know what, I can't do this completely for free. I got to go, so that's what you did. You decided you had to go out and get a career.
Yeah, and I had to go to work. I had to pay my bills and needed insurance.
Yeah, that's right. All those
like
things.
But it wasn't easy for her.
No.
I mean, she struggled. It wasn't easy for us. We didn't want to lose her.
Sure.
And we really tried because we felt she was so incredibly valuable.
Yeah.
To this clinic, ministry at the time.
Yeah, and I did give of my time when I could outside of the hours I was working. But then that turned into something more. That turned into being a voice, kind of like yours a little bit, in the community.
Yeah.
So I started I was getting the word out already about the Care Center. I had churches approach me wanting to speak to their congregation about what we do, health fairs, fall festivals, things like that. So where my heart wanted to stay, God was like, I got to do something else.
Sure.
I've got another plan for you. So we're going to give you a little bit higher platform to see what we can do to help the Care Center. And I've always stayed connected, and I'm always gathering goods. Goods come to me.
So one of the things we'll explain how I kind of found out about y'all, because it was another thing. Like, I was like, here goes Neil walking through life and finding out about this other great organization out there, So my friend, Miss Sandy Marbury, she met you at one of these little fall festivals, and she approached me about you. She goes, hey, I'm like, send me your number. I'd love to talk to her, and that's kind of how this thing works. So I was like, absolutely.
Amazing.
How did I not ever hear about this? Another one of those things, So it's a network of working with each other. Yep. Now that y'all know me, and I know who y'all are, we're going to stay connected.
Yeah.
We're going to promote. I'm going to name drop you. I'm going to do all those things to kind of like make sure people know that the services, or if you need their services, and you don't know what you're going to do, look them up. Yep. Tell everybody where your address is real quick so they know how to get to you.
1277 Main Street.
1277 Main Street. It's in the same shopping center as the Skillet, and across the street,
the Country Skillet,
right next door.
The Country Skillet, and then across the street from Dale's in Southaven. If everybody knows where that is, I know they can find those two things.
Yeah.
So
everybody knows where Dale's is.
Both of those places. So also a telephone number they can reach the office if they wanted to call.
662-280-1202.
Okay, and an email.
cprc@careprc.org.
And the website is www.careprc.org.
Yes.
Okay. So, folks, those are 3 avenues you can get in touch with them. Or you can just come in.
Or on Facebook.
Yeah, also on Facebook. Yeah, let's don't forget that part. That's what we're all trying to get through here. Facebook, it's Care Center. And then it'll say Southaven. Yeah, somewhere in there. But look up the Care Center. And I think that's how most people refer to it around here, as the Care Center. But it is located in Southaven. And it's very centrally located, close to the interstate, close to State Line Road, if people are familiar with this, in DeSoto County, Mississippi. And if you need just to get there, walk in the door, talk to them, whatever you got to do. Anonymous, whatever you need to do. They're very discreet, I know that. Yeah, because that's a big part of it, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So in the case you have like a teenager or something gets pregnant, I know there's laws and rules that you got to abide by, but like it is something they could come in confidence knowing that you're going to take care of them.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and protect them.
And because they're afraid.
Yeah.
So, we do talk to them, and they may be under false impressions or information.
Sure.
So we first off have to confirm that they even are pregnant, because unfortunately we've over the years have found out that many, if they're seeking an abortion, will get one whether they need it or not. They're not even pregnant.
Wow.
So because they come to us, at some point the test wasn't even positive, or it could be, and we do the ultrasound and they're not. It's a non-viable pregnancy. And at that point, they reveal they've been to a clinic and they were scheduled for a procedure. A week later, 2 weeks later, one was going in an hour, another the next day. And actually, can I proselytize a bit? During the election, there was this whole discussion over the fact that abortions weren't being performed late term.
Sure.
Egregious lie.
Right.
Absolutely. Because while they were restricted in their services, they didn't turn anybody away. The doors were still open. If they went in for an abortion, they would accommodate them and basically would refer them elsewhere where they will do them up to 40 weeks and beyond.
What?
Positively. Absolutely.
Wow. What's the total weeks of pregnancy?
40 weeks.
Exactly. That right there. Now, look, I'm a kind of a pro-choice kind of guy. Okay, I'm just going to tell you right off the bat. But I know y'all are pro-life clinic. I understand that. And on every area of that, I say yes, absolutely. The mother should, be a decision maker in this, the health of the child or whatever. But there's limits to that for me in my mind. I think most, regardless if you're pro-life or pro-choice, whatever it is in your mindset, you still should have some limits to where it's too far. You know what I mean? I don't want to get too deep into that on my thoughts and beliefs, but that is way out of control.
Yeah.
But
that's murder.
And it's a reality.
Yeah, that's a real murder situation there at my point.
The thing is that they need an informed choice, which they won't get.
Right.
Going to these facilities, it's very orchestrated.
Yes, and they're lied to. A lot of them are.
It's just staged.
Right.
So they don't know. As I said, if they're misdiagnosing and confirming a pregnancy when they're not, it's profit motive.
Well, we just talked about that. Like, it's all money, money, money over people. Now, in this case, we talked about this earlier about, the needs are financial ongoing support for the clinic, but it's not for profitability. It's about providing a service.
Yes.
There's not somebody, Miss Claudia is not going on like extended trips to the Europe over Southaven Care Center money. You know what I mean? Like, we know this for a fact,
This
it's
is
all
my big trip for the month.
Yeah. So it's about keeping the doors open. It's about providing a service to a community.
Yeah.
It's about having the best care possible, about having the best people involved to help you. Because, you just can't hire somebody off the street to run the care clinic. You know what I mean? The care center. Yeah. They have to be trained. Even as a volunteer, they have to be really good. Yeah. So, and you're looking for those people too, right? Like, you want people to come in and help be a part of this.
Yes.
So talk about that a little bit, Miss Claudia.
We are really busy.
Yeah.
And I was even thinking, I had a thought, but then it was interrupted maybe last week, and I said, I know I have a theme. Lost it. I know, right? Before the storm, so we're halfway through the month, it was maybe the 10th or the 11th of January, and I looked at our stats, and we were something like 65. I figured, and that's not even half the month. So we've estimated we would have been pushing 200, 250 new clients coming in, not including the ultrasounds we're doing. So that's 25 a week.
Right.
So just Friday, we were up to 41 new clients for this, and being open only 3 days.
Oh, wow.
And with 25 ultrasounds.
Right.
So that gives you an idea of the number, the daily number that we're seeing.
And I think part of that's just because lack of opportunity to afford insurance now.
Absolutely.
The cost of maternity insurance is out through the roof. Even if you got insurance, they don't cover that necessarily, and it's still a lot of heavy cost out of the pocket for the parents. I know that. I went through that back when my kids were born many, many years ago. It's a struggle.
Mm-hmm. And even with insurance, because in certain cases they're not seeing them under 9 weeks, and they're trying to find out if they are pregnant.
Sure.
They don't know where to go.
Yeah.
And the ones that are coming, I didn't know where to go. I don't know how I found you, and it's gone. It just puts it in their lap. Mm-hmm. So we know we're really not reaching all those in need.
Right.
But you could see the numbers are going up exponentially.
Right. Because obviously, like I said, it becomes affordability factors. And by the way, if you do go in there and you don't have insurance, you can still donate for being seen. It's smallest numbers, like $5, $10, $25, whatever. Everything helps keep the center running. Mm-hmm. So if you are there, don't be just a taker. You know what I mean? Like, if you can afford a few bucks, it's just like you can't afford the $30,000 it is to have a baby or get involved with an OB/GYN. I get that part, but still, or if you can at that moment, when you are available and can, you get on your feet or whatever it is, make sure you look back and help these guys, because they have absolutely are giving up their time, their effort, all their knowledge, their hearts to devote themselves to the community,
Because they're the most vulnerable.
They are.
Pregnant moms, and some may be alone. We had someone a couple of weeks prior, the last one before the storm, and the husband's working. She has no family here. And she's about to deliver. We give them all the records, but we had to decide, do we send her now because this storm is coming? Is she going to be stuck in the house and deliver this baby? But it struck us, and she corresponded on Facebook quite often. And I thought, she has nobody.
Nobody.
No. And they're here, they're going through this tremendous time in their life by themselves.
Yeah. Coupled with a terrible ice storm. Like it's just horrible, man. Like so many people are trapped in their house. And on top of that, like what if she goes in labor? I know we had power up here, thankfully, in our particular area, but like even then, emergency, like the ambulance couldn't necessarily get to them. They couldn't get around. I mean, I seen that everywhere. They were stuck. I was talking to Sarita at the House of Grace, and they had something happened to where they had to have an ambulance called for, and just literally an hour before that happened, they finally got their ice off their driveway to where the ambulance service, they could get in there. So, it's like something happened there that made sure it got done. Yeah. You know what I mean? And so they were in a particular scenario too. So like, it's a terrible time and a terrible situation. She was all alone. She was probably worried to death. That put stress on the baby. You know what I mean? There's a lot of things going on there. So Miss Claudia, during that storm, were you worried every day about being open? Like you just like, man, we've got to get open.
Yes.
Like it was,
yes, I was part of the text thread.
How many days were y'all down for?
Well, that whole week.
Yeah.
And then we came back Tuesday. Because the staff and the volunteers are all over the county.
Sure, they come from everywhere.
From Olive Branch and down south. And so we had to determine who can make it in. I don't know. People couldn't get out of their driveway. And some of the ladies are older.
Sure.
And there's this big mountain of ice, which we had, a mountain of ice.
Yeah.
And we were probably I left, and I have a Jeep, but I couldn't get out of my own driveway. I'm slipping.
Stop right there. You're a Jeeper? Mm-hmm. Oh, my goodness.
A big yellow one outside.
Big yellow one outside. I got to go see this. And you're going to get tickets for our Jeep, right? You're going to buy you a ticket. Remind people to get one for the House of Grace Jeep. Now, domestic violence. So you can get one as little as one ticket for $20, right? $20. That's pretty cheap.
Yeah.
You can get 3 for $50. That's even cheaper. And you can get 7 for $100. So that's down to like $14.50 or something like that per ticket. So that's pretty good.
We do it for the Care Center, right?
We may just do something like that.
No. I meant we could put it in, and if the Care Center wins.
Yeah, that's right. Absolutely.
Yeah,
yes, you
go.
could. Absolutely. You could do it through the Care Center. They could win it. We could turn around and raffle it back off for the Care Center. You know what I mean? That would be amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you know how I think. We give it away to somebody.
Unfortunately, there goes our compassion again. We're just going to be giving it away. We're going to be like, they need a car so bad.
Family of 4, family of 6.
Family of 6. That's right. So, but with that passion, that's another thing. Like it was stressing you to death just to get in there. Next time that happens, you need to call me, and I can resource all my friends who have Jeeps that can get the essential people to their jobs. So, like when those ladies say, "I can't make it," we're going to go get them. We're going to bring them to the clinic, and then we'll figure out a way to get your patients in there. I promise you we can make that happen.
Okay.
I know too many of them that's got the Jeeps. They will do it. Yeah. Last time, I want to give a shout out to my friends over at Spider Off-Road, MSJ, Pat Hardison, Trip Poole, and I talk about this all the time. These guys were doing the work. They were working up and down Interstate 55.
Oh, I saw that.
Pulling. Yeah, these are the guys that helped me build this Jeep, by the way, and helping me do all this stuff. So shout out to those guys. And they were making sure. Pat worked himself. Do you know him? He was the first human face transplant. I did a show with him a while back.
Yeah,
Pat
I think I know who that is.
Yeah. He was burned in a fire. He was a fireman, and he lives here locally. He's doing amazing. By the way, shout out Pat.
I think he came and spoke at Northwest. I work at Northwest. He came.
He probably did.
Yeah,
because
he did for a military night.
Yeah, he's inspirational, man. And that happened a long time ago. And he has to go back every so often up to New York. He's up there right now getting like his yearly treatment or what have you to do, where they kind of work with him. But he was making trips every day to Memphis, back down to Senatobia, picking up people everywhere, just getting nurses to work because we need them. They got to be there. They got to be there, you know? So he worked himself to death, and so did like Clyde and his son CJ and all these guys. I could mention all. Crystal, I want to give a shout out to Crystal because she's Clyde's lady, and she's really the boss and does all the hard work. So, yeah.
Way to go, Crystal.
Next time that happens, just give us a holler. We'll make sure everybody gets where they need to be.
If we're snowed in, we're going to call Neil.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'll send you some numbers. I'm not. Yeah. I will come get Miss Claudia if her Jeep is stuck. I will come get you personally.
All right.
Yeah, there you go, and I'll get you to work.
For everybody who was stuck, it was terrible.
Yeah, I had to take my son to work because he has a truck, but like our driveway is really steep and it was solid ice, and I was the only one who could get out. And I don't know. I mean, I just didn't really trust him in my truck to be getting around, so I just did it myself.
In the Jeep.
No, I didn't take the Jeep. I just took my Ford, that one that's outside the 4-wheel drive. I'm not driving the Jeep yet, Miss Claudia. Like, we have to preserve that thing. We have to make sure it's pristine to give away. So I actually will, as soon as we get it finished and everything, I probably will be driving it around as like a billboard, trying to let people know what's going on with it and everything. Yeah. So it'd be cool. Maybe we take your Jeep and, and dude it up next time. You need to take it over to Spider Off-Road and get it all jacked up and put big tires on it and all that good stuff.
I can see her doing that.
Yeah, she could do it.
I can see her doing that.
Well, I have a happy face, but I think it provokes people. The big smiley face.
Yeah.
Maybe you've seen it.
Yeah.
I go, I don't know what it is, but I have people yell at me. They pass me and they yell at me.
Oh, my goodness.
I think it's the happy face.
Well, maybe you need to put a number 1 sign. You know what I'm talking about? Like with the happy face? Not the number 1, but the number 1. Yeah. Claudia would never do that.
No,
she would never do that. Yeah.
It would be, God bless you. Have a nice day.
I know it. Let's get back on topic about the show, ladies. Yeah. So, hey, guys, I want to talk to you about my primary sponsor, RoofWorks Roofing Company. Reach out to them today at 662-303-0345 for all your roofing needs. They're a great company, great people, and they will back their work up. RoofWorksMidSouth.com. And if you're looking for a new employment opportunity, they're currently looking for new salespeople as business has really picked up after these storms. So give them a shout out again at 662-303-0345 or RoofWorksMidSouth.com. Tremendous work. What you're currently looking for, like right now, is you're looking to get the word out about the services you provide, in the community. If someone's looking for a very
volunteer opportunities too.
We're looking for volunteer opportunities.
We always need nurses,
yes,
ultrasound techs, anybody with a heart or have worked in the medical field.
Pick up that basket that's on the floor there and put it up on the table, so we can talk about some of the other things you need. Some of the things they do is they provide care packages for the mothers when they have these babies. So you can talk about where some of this stuff comes from. We'll hold it up to the camera, show people what it is. Yep. Yeah. These are some of the things you provide after the baby's born, probably before the baby's born, just kind of help the mother. Because you're mentally wanting to support her, keep her self-esteem up as well.
Oh, yes.
That's important. And then, of course, we know all the things that can happen after a pregnancy with a mother. So it's important for that postpartum area that sometimes happens to some of our mothers, and to try to help mentally support them. Show them love, right?
Yeah, and helping them walk through the fears that they're going through, especially those first-time moms.
All right. Show us what you got there, Jessi.
All right. So we have a baby bag.
Okay. Can they see that up there?
Yes.
All right. Got it.
I think so. Yeah, here's me. So we have a baby bag, and I don't know if it's this one or this one that's given.
This is for the new moms.
The new mommy bag. Yes.
Okay.
So typically you have baby items in here. You've got a bottle. You've got probably a binky in there. You've got a baby diaper, a blanket, something tangible for a woman to touch. You've got clothes,
right?
Especially with that new mom.
Yeah. That may not have anything.
Not just nothing. No, this makes what's going on inside of them a reality.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yes, this is a real human being growing, unique.
What a small diaper that is. Yeah, that's like a premium diaper.
It is.
That thing's small.
Yes. And,
I never wore that, by the way. I was a big baby.
Yeah, you did. Yeah. You don't remember.
Yeah. So
not that small. It wasn't that small.
So they have boy bags, girl bags, and like green bags, or just neutral bags. There you go, neutral bags.
Sure, because we don't know.
Yeah, especially the ones that don't want to know. And it just kind of settles in with the woman when she gets it and she starts taking this out. Because I was witness to, she counseled, but I would bring in the bags.
Sure.
And then I would walk back and forth, and I would witness these women pulling this stuff out of these bags and just breaking down.
Right, their emotions
like,
just overcome.
Oh my gosh, yes, and not just fearful emotions, but like joy.
Yeah,
and happiness. Like I got a baby, and it's just you see that light. They came in terrified, but you see that light finally go off.
Sure.
And a lot of times it's got to do with his back.
Fantastic.
Yes.
So these things in this bag are often donated by groups around the community.
Anybody,
that help you.
individuals.
Anybody. Like you can
we
go
have
up.
like bottle drives.
Sure.
Churches can do bottle drives. Businesses could do diaper drives. You could do baby items, things like that. But we're always trying to give out something new.
Yes,
I
it
will
has to
say
be
that.
new. We don't want any used products because these are babies.
Yeah.
These are brand new babies. We don't need any potential germ cross-contamination, and these women don't got time to be washing stuff.
Yeah, and for some women, this might be the baby bag. Part of the baby bag they take with them.
Sure.
That first outfit they take with them.
Right.
So, yeah.
Well, guys, if you're listening and you want to be a part of this, reach out to the Care Center through Facebook, as we talked about earlier. You can always be a part of it. And that, I mean, just that simple capacity. It could be just like this little
And we have
toy
people
here, or
that come in and just
bibs or
make the
whatever.
bags. I mean, some volunteers come in and just do specific
Yeah,
things.
you don't have to be a
Assemble them.
specialist. You can
Yeah.
be just like need something to do and come in and help organize.
Clean. Because we
whatever.
do have a small like daycare type of room. Women come in with their children, and
Gives
some
them
of
a
the
place.
volunteers will
Right.
watch the babies.
Sure.
So, one of the biggest things, of course, is the word.
Sure.
They're given the word as well before, as part of it too.
Okay.
And this one is more. Well, this is part of the knitting.
Yes,
that
because we
talked
have.
about.
All right, so the women and like Miss Sandy.
I'm so glad you brought this.
Yeah.
Well,
So Miss Sandy Marbury.
Yes.
She loves to do things like this. I know that. And they
that
make the
may
little.
be from her.
It may be. Do you think Sandy made this one? I don't know.
I don't know. I know she's got some women at that church.
They all get
and see,
involved.
Yeah.
This thing's super soft, by the way.
Were there hats in here? Or are we out? We try to give
Like,
little
so-
booties and hats,
Yeah,
but
so
we run out.
Sandy was telling me about that a little bit. She was talking about how she knows some women that do the little booties. They
guess-
crochet the little booties and the hats for them. Knit, whatever you
very
mean.
delicate.
Yeah.
No,
so-
I guess not.
It's not in that one.
Maybe it's in this one. This bag
Well,
you give to
I
them
think it's
after
we're
the.
out.
This
No,
one's the one we
probably
do
out,
after the
yeah.
baby's born.
No, we call it a comfort bag.
Okay.
So we have many miscarriages or stillbirths,
Oh, yes, I understand
of
that.
which we had 2 yesterday.
Oh man.
So it got so generally we'd make them up then and there, but it's a
Sure.
little time consuming because we've had so many. And so we tried to do them ahead of time. So we'll put in some items for mom, like we like body wash, and maybe lotion for
Sure.
mom.
So care packages for mothers, like that's another thing we want to talk about. So it's not just baby. So one of the things, obviously, that is the most important part of this, but
Mama and baby.
mamas, they need that love too. And so like having a care package for a lady to kind of pamper herself, make herself feel good, lotions,
We do have
candles, all that kind of stuff's probably really big, right? So
Yes.
anybody that's listening to that, if you want to donate some of that good stuff, I'm all about I'll ask for y'all. I want to ask for y'all because y'all need these things. And I know it's extremely expensive if you try to buy it as collective. Try to get all the
Yes.
supplies to kind of help all of it. How many patients a month are you seeing, do you think?
In excess, of new clients coming in, 150,
Wow.
and then probably 100 with the ultrasounds, and then the benevolence. We have that aspect, which we hadn't really talked about.
Yeah.
So that's another 100 or so.
Good
We see-
Lord.
we
So
see
it's
a lot.
busy.
It is.
I mean,
Yeah,
it's a
very
busy
And for
clinic.
3 days
It
a
is.
week, it's
So
yes.
3 days a week. What days are you open?
Tuesday, Thursday, Friday.
So, wow. So it's like
Wow.
how many hours is it open?
11 to 7-ish.
That's a lot to
Sometimes
get
we're
done.
there later.
It is.
Yeah, I imagine. Is it because of just the availability of the staff?
Yes.
Okay, so if you had more staff and more volunteers and more doctors and nurses wanting to donate their time, you could open up maybe another day possibly.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's another thing. So it's not just financial; it's also giving your community service in a way. So if you could come in for 2 or 3 hours, and I'm sure it don't have to be the same nurse all day. It can just be, I want to devote 2 hours, 4 hours, whatever. Yeah. So if y'all want to get involved in that standpoint, you probably don't have to be a prenatal nurse or anything. I mean, you can just be a nurse, like certified, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. OBGYN doctor, nurse practitioner, any of that stuff, correct? Yeah.
ultrasound technician.
Ultrasound technicians.
Medical assistants.
Okay. Just name it off. Now talk about that thing you just mentioned. Benevolence. Yeah.
When they're due, when they're approaching their due date, which generally, if we're seeing them, we know definitely. If they've started with the doctor, it's they're taken care of. but we still help. We put together, we call it a hospital bag.
Sure.
So that's like a blanket for Mom, because they
Right.
get cold after the epidural.
Sure.
And little socks or booties, notions, some reading material, personal things, sanitary items. And that's in a big bag. And we give that to them around when we know, probably the last visit or so before they're due. But then whatever else. So we have always been maintaining car seats, big,
Oh, my
huge
goodness.
need.
Yes.
And we were in a program where we could instruct on safe use of them.
Sure.
And in so doing, they would supply us with car seats. But when COVID came around, the organization was in Virginia, and they went digital. And anyway, the police department used to do it, and the fire department.
Yeah.
So gradually, the police department stopped, the fire department stopped. So we were the only ones in this program.
Wow.
And then it fizzled out. So it was a wonderful opportunity. They'd bring us 20 car seats. We filled out all the paperwork. We had a lot of reporting to do, and then instructed them on how to use it. Now we're reliant completely on the community.
Donations. Yeah.
And we need
How much
lot.
is a car seat nowadays? It's got to be expensive. Like, as I remember, man, my kids are like from 25, 24 up to 32. So it's been a minute, since I had to buy a car
You probably
seat.
didn't need car seats.
Yeah,
then.
you did. Now, you're talking about when I was born, Claudia. I was standing up in the back seat with both my grandparents smoking cigarettes with the windows rolled up. You know what I mean? Like, that's how I grew up. So car seats, what is a car seat? I don't even think I was ever in one. So, but yeah, you're right. But my kids, certainly, I can remember, it being a big issue, and then it went to like the booster seats. So that was kind of a new thing when my kids were coming up, my oldest one for sure. It was expensive. And you had to take care of them, and then it got into those, it get crazy, you have like a car seat stroller combo,
No.
yeah, all that kind of stuff,
Actually, what we did receive, they're called convertibles.
Yeah.
But so they go through all the growth stages, but they're
Yeah.
essentially upright, and they can tilt back a little. But you have this little newborn that's like this big,
Yeah.
and they're all crunched up.
Oh
and
my
they're all
goodness,
along.
that was probably me right out of the gate, bro. I was a big baby, so I was probably like,
You weren't crunched.
I wasn't crunched, yeah, but it is like when they're really small like that, they're so delicate, and you look like they're almost uncomfortable when they're scrunched up in those little things,
And they like to tote them because they can
Yes.
put them in the base.
Yes.
And then carry them in and out. Whereas the other ones that we got are permanently in the car.
Yeah.
They could, I suppose, remove it, but they're too big.
I do remember the convertibles where it just snaps into the to the base. Yeah, and that is a lot more user friendly.
I think we price them. And they can be expensive if you get all the bells and whistles
Sure.
in a stroller, but maybe $60, $70 possibly.
Per one, yeah. Which, to be honest with you, when you talk about safety, is it really that much money? At the end of the day.
But again, they don't know that. And we're very committed to providing these seats.
Sure.
Because we've had some come in. It was a couple of years ago, and the daddy came in. He didn't speak much English. He came in for benevolence,
Sure.
which I didn't explain it.
Sure.
And so then he says, "My baby bubblehead." I went, "Baby bubblehead, come see."
Yeah,
I said,
yeah.
"Okay, Bubble, what?" So I go out to the truck, and I look, and there's this little baby, 3-week-old baby,
Yeah.
in the no car seat, in the seatbelt.
Oh my goodness.
Oh,
And I went, "Oh no."
Yeah.
So you have to have a car seat. So
Yeah.
we do.
He
give
was talking
them
about the baby's head bobbing.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's what it sounded like.
Bobblehead. I'm not laughing to make fun of this, but I can just the direct correlation behind what he was probably saying. I can envision it. I'm a visualist, so I know you're probably like, oh my gosh,
And because he didn't know.
He
But
didn't
that's
know.
what
Yeah.
people, they don't know.
So it's
Even the
educational
moms.
as well,
Oh, yes.
and it can be
Yes.
even for the fathers,
Yes.
Or,
Oh, yes.
at the same time, we know, and I want to ask you about this as we talk about this in the story, is like, I know that it's, at times, is there adoption options for people?
Oh, yes.
Like y'all help find them and connect them with adoption agencies and things of that nature?
Oh, absolutely. But what's interesting, because we have to record our stats. I am not a numbers person, and I don't like to do this.
Yes.
From the beginning, I still don't like to do it. But like when people like you asked me, how many do we see? If we weren't keeping stats, I would say a lot.
Yeah, you just say a lot. Never mind, it's 350 people a week or whatever in 3 days.
I mean, it makes sense. But when you narrow it, then we have to do categories and subcategories.
Right.
And they're not a number. I mean, we had issues in the beginning, even with the going for the abortions and how they were treated. They're not a number. They're special individuals.
Oh, man, yeah, absolutely.
Dearly beloved by God and by us. I mean, we're human, but we're doing the best we can to express His concern for them. In other words, they're not alone. Yeah, right. I'm not alone. Who's helping me? And I'm by myself. I don't know what to do.
Yeah, man. That was such a long time.
And maybe we could just give a hug.
Yeah.
But they do sense it's for you.
I got a feeling Miss Claudia has touched a lot of people.
Oh, yeah. Me being one.
Yeah, you being one. Like, Claudia, we kind of skipped over. You went right into what you do earlier, but I mean, you are the owner of the Care Center.
We're a nonprofit.
Well, I understand that, but
Director. I'm the director. We have a board of directors.
Okay, so I understand that because I am of the foundation myself. But you are a founder. Let's just use that word, a founder. That's a better word. But it's your vision, your drive, your passion that keeps this thing moving. And thank you for that, because I think that there's probably not very many Claudias out there, to be honest with you, they got the ideas, but they don't have to see it through. You know what I mean? Think about what you've had to given up to do what you do.
Oh, you don't look back.
You just don't look back.
No, even like just the startup took so long. I said, God wasn't going to let me see how long this was going to take.
So what is your
I can't do this.
what is your history in? Like, where did you work? What did you do?
A lot. Well,
She's done a lot. Yeah. Very eccentric.
I want to know the story. Yeah.
From when?
Not to
be.
I mean, but what's your
backwards.
professional career background?
I'm retired, actually. I did different things. I was in public relations,
Okay.
and I was a council member in another state, another township.
Sure.
And then we relocated here. My husband was transferred, and so that was a whole new start. So it didn't take long.
Yeah.
And at the time, actually...
Who'd your husband work for?
FedEx.
Yeah.
And so he was relocated.
Nice.
But before then, I was very... driven.
Yeah.
So I was working in this, doing, as I said, public relations and this government activities. And through God's intervention, it was a very dramatic conversion experience in London, which is a long story. And just was a dramatic turnaround. So I wouldn't have considered myself very athletic.
Yeah.
Actually. I wasn't a couch potato.
Miss Claudia is a very tiny individual. I mean, I don't even want to tell you how I was like, she said she's had some knee work done here recently, and she was coming up our stairs, which are long and steep.
Pretty steep, yeah.
And she was determined, like, I wasn't going to help her. You know what I mean? But she's not a very big lady. What are you, like 90 pounds?
Sometimes.
Yeah, like. So she starts talking about athleticism. I'm thinking she's in pretty good shape. You know what I mean? She really is. So, I mean, for 49, I mean,
Right.
it's pretty good. Yeah.
So after this change, and not that I wasn't, always did have a compassion for people. So I was involved with a ministry there that helped pregnant women, ironically. That would just give out benevolences, or would help the downcast, just because.
They have a different word for it.
And I mean, I did attend church, but there was just this difference in coming to know the Lord personally. And so when that happened, I said, I have to give back.
Yeah.
So I decided to become an EMT.
Nice.
So I volunteered with the ambulance up there and went on to become a medic. And then when relocating down here, I continued. And then, as God would have it, and I can't explain it, I saw one day I'm out and I see a van and I had the dogs, and I see search and rescue. And I go, what is that? Really? And I called up.
Yeah.
And I was invited to their training session.
Mm-hmm.
She had big dogs.
Big dogs.
In
big service dogs.
In the middle of the winter.
Where'd you have to go to?
Waldoxie State Park for the
wow.
training seminar.
Yeah.
I was told to dress warmly because I did the interview.
Sure.
And now I have my medic credentials.
Yeah.
And I have the dogs. And so that set me, I ended up doing search and rescue.
You know what's funny about that is Sarita, by the way, is on the search and rescue team for DeSoto County. Did you know that?
No.
Sarita Drake. Yeah, she is for the House of Grace. Her and her daughters all are in it. They're nurses, like they do I guess that part of it. But Jonathan Bigham, who's the chief over that, I call him the chief director, whatever you want to call it, but he runs the program. I've had him on the show. They're very, very essential in our community. Like, they are amazing, The way I met him was a good friend of mine, Todd. He's a tree service guy, but he devotes, because he's successful. So what he does is provide these services, like he'd help them in an emergency situation. Well, then he becomes a diver, and so like he's into diving. So I'm like, Todd, this is so interesting. You gotta come on the show. He's like, well, man, I don't like to talk much, and and well, can I bring my team? I'm like, well, certainly you can. So man, we did a whole episode with like 3 or 4 other guys, and it's been pretty cool, So I didn't know you were on the search and rescue team.
Mm-hmm.
There
you kept probing.
So you did that.
I don't like to talk about myself.
I don't, I do in a sense of like historically, it's funny how none of us have a background in what we like are doing, you come just out of the blue, but what it is like something, I guess, gets over you to where you're just like, I got to do this. Nobody else is doing it. I got to do it.
Yep.
And I think that's what I'm talking about. You have no background in OBGYN work. I'm guessing, other than just trying to help them. So, that's amazing. So you got to make the connections and the networking to make this thing happen. Mm-hmm. And I'm sure at times your husband's like, Claudia, this is expensive. You know what I mean?
Well, I roped him into search and rescue too.
Yeah, did you? Okay. So you got him
my hook
too.
on my crook.
Yeah, there you go.
Because we had too many dogs. I couldn't run 3 of them. So
yeah, so it was time. But so search and rescue.
Also, I did emergency management.
Okay.
So there would be talks, like I would go around with the dogs. We did something called Hug a Tree. Mm-hmm. And with emergency management, it was emergency preparedness, which I was involved with elsewhere. So that kind of flowed. But at the same time, I was involved with the Save a Life in Southaven, the original founding, and then the closure. And then it ended up where that required my time to get this up and going, and I couldn't do the other.
Right. So you just like seen this need in the community, and you helped develop it. And like I said, you're the founder. You know what I mean? So I know you don't have to get the accolades, but we're going to give them to you. Me and Jessi are today. We're gonna, we're just going to be like, thank goodness for Claudia.
Jessi said, when she talked with us, Chamber of Commerce, I was laughing out loud because that's how we did meet because we bring the dogs to the vet. True. So she said, she worked with dogs. I don't know what she did. She had rescue dogs. She rescued them or something.
Listen, you don't need an expertise to get involved and be community minded. You just have to have an idea.
Just be open.
You just got to be open.
Yes.
You got to be willing to work with others. One of the things that I found sometimes, and I know that, I feel sometimes like when I'm trying to work with an organization that's new to me and they're not quite sure what I'm after. I'm not after anything. They see me kind of as a competitor because, like everybody's trying to get fundraisers going and this, and that is not it, man. We really want to help you succeed. That's our goal, is kind of what we're after. And I know that we're all stronger when we're together, as a community. And you start talking about, what do you know about Claudia's, organization over there? They could be so helpful. So I like to tie them together. Like I like to tie people, business owners with organizations, nonprofits like yourselves, so when you find a resource, you try to connect them. At times it works, sometimes it don't, but sometimes it's like the glue that you needed to kind of pull it together.
Face to a place.
Yeah, absolutely. So, just like with the House of Grace, I'm sure at times their ladies could use your services, and I'm sure they have, so, and that's another one, like you depend on each other's resources to help each other. And I'm sure there's times when you've seen a situation where you might need them, you know what I mean? So unfortunately that happens, but we're in a world of reality. This is not a movie. I mean, it's real life stuff, and the people that's listening out here, if y'all find it in your hearts to be and get behind an organization or a program, the Care Center is it. Because if you care anything about women and children, I don't know how you can't get behind what y'all are doing. I mean, absolutely. Even just the simplest thing.
It's hard to turn away.
Yeah. Even if it's just like these little bitty diapers that might fit on your hand, maybe. Look at that. big as my hand. Yeah, that's not much. Yeah, I promise you, I was never that small. Yeah.
I still remember.
Yeah, man. I was like 27 inches long, 14 pounds.
Walking.
Right out of the, I was walking when I came out with a cigar. Yeah, cigarette. Filterless Camel, I believe, was the brand they had me. But anyway, I don't mean to make light of things. I just like to kind of keep, I guess, things loose a little bit. But you're an amazing energy, Miss Claudia. I can tell. For 49, man, I don't even know how you've done so much in your life.
That's why I stumbled up the stairs.
That's right. So, but again, I think kind of like, when I was telling you earlier, I was like approaching 50, and it's like all of a sudden I had like these blinders on because I'm so busy working and trying to, raise my children, provide for things. Like you don't see everything, like that's going on around you and the needs and like how these, there's problems and issues in the community that you're not aware of. And somehow, I don't know if it's an age thing, but I would love to teach younger people to have that, where they could see it sooner. You know what I mean? And
I would, not to interrupt, but I've got lots of nieces and nephews.
Yeah.
And they all came through as volunteers.
Amazing.
I was, over the years, they would come in and help, and just getting them exposed to not just volunteer
that's what I'm
work,
talking about, though.
But this type of line. And not just getting to know her, but in that environment, that heart of giving.
Well, just being community minded, you know what I mean? Help your neighbors. It starts there. Help your neighbor with their lawn or whatever, like just little things like that. It kind of builds character within the community, and then if everybody was a little bit more giving to the people around them without worrying about what it's going to cost them or the return. I don't try to keep score. Yeah. That's the biggest thing I tell my friends all the time. Like, we're in business or whatever, I just share. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's not about me.
It's not about me. I try to keep score. I want us all to do good. You know what I mean? And I'm the same way with like our community as a whole. I want to see everybody succeed in every capacity. I know it's impossible, but we can try one person at a time. So it goes back to you, the individual.
And letting your light shine, and you too. Everybody has a calling.
Sure.
Even we've said it with our volunteers, because sometimes it's taken a year or a year and a half, 2 years for them to actually put feet to that call.
Sure.
And when they come, they're blessed. They don't feel capable. Or even some of the nurses, I never worked in OB before. What do I do? I said, it's the heart.
It is.
That will direct you. You have a skill set, and then just apply it in this environment, this situation, and let your heart rule.
Right.
And they do.
Well, like I said, is there anything else y'all that we hadn't talked about that y'all provide for service-wise?
Are there any goods that we need?
Oh, the benevolence. I never explained that.
We're back to that. Yeah.
So we have, after the car seats, so we keep, now we have a whole section that we maintain diapers, wipes, formula, the shelf foods, because this is getting smaller. We used to have 2 shelves. Now it's 1 shelf of shelf food.
I need to come by next week. I'm going to come by and visit the center.
All kinds of, infant clothing, boys and girls, and then maternity clothes. So again, I had mentioned earlier about the vision for that building to have like a boutique where they could just
that was
come
off
in.
air, guys. We were having a conversation, so she's probably referring to, we were looking like one of the things, not necessarily a thrift store. It was kind of the idea I talked about with the Fancy Nancy Foundation, but she wanted to have a place to where you explain it to where it's they come in and kind of shop for the essentials that they need, but not necessarily in an idea of paying for. It's more because you're a giving person.
So we have a chit system, and they have a little basket or a little cart, and everything would be organized, and they can come in.
Like
we could
thrift
figure
store,
out
but they're not paying for it.
Like 5 onesies for the baby and size 2 clothes for the boy. And, some meager groceries, sustainable shelf foods, that type of thing. But
which is a growing need every day right now. Yeah. It's worse than ever.
Right now they come in with the need. We write down what they need, and then a volunteer goes to the back and they package it. They package the need and they bring it out.
Yeah. We thought when we got that addition that they'd be able to go in. Now you can't. They'd risk life and limb. When I worry about our ladies, it's just a little packed. Yeah. So we retrieve it for them.
Sure.
And that's ongoing and no restrictions.
Yeah.
And like somebody, they just were in last week, and I said, it's okay. They're going through a rough spot.
Yeah, because you're usually, these people. a little bit? Like if they've come in and seen, because they kind of got to be a client to be a part of this, right?
Well, not necessarily.
Not necessarily? Okay.
No.
Okay.
If there's a need,
Yeah.
Like sometimes the fire department has sent, other agencies have
Okay.
sent them. They were burnt out.
Sure. Oh,
We've
yeah,
had
that's
that.
a big one, right? Yeah.
Oh, could you get some whatever.
Right.
So, but we also maintain, the car seats, then bassinets, strollers, bouncers,
Sure.
swings. One of the ladies, now we didn't have space, so she kept cribs in her garage. So when we have a need, she will get
Bring it
it,
up
and then
there.
she gets sheets and blankets
Sure,
and drops it off,
sure.
which we did. the
That's
other day.
amazing, man. Like you don't even think about all the needs, just the little things when you start talking about like the essentials,
Yeah.
like from Q-tips to whatever, like you were talking about sheets, and towels and just little hand towels and things. It's huge,
And a formula.
Yeah.
See,
And that's another thing. Formula's expensive in general, but then there's like special formulas that
Yep.
that's another ball game altogether.
If they can't get it, the
Yeah.
babies get. That's what happened during COVID.
Yeah.
They couldn't get the special formulas. The babies were hospitalized.
Mm-hmm.
So we were essential services. We stayed open.
Yeah.
And we had grandmothers coming. They had driven all the way to Jackson to try to get formulas. Supposedly they had
Crazy,
it, and they
man.
didn't.
Yeah.
So through the grace of God, we were getting enough. And what we did, we tried to keep the same
To the
brand.
grace of Claudia. That's what we're really saying.
Lord.
Yeah, man, because I don't think any of this is happening without Claudia. I'm pretty sure.
Well, I'd say
Christ in me.
her obedient heart is like on fire.
It is, man.
Yes, it's
Yeah,
on
I mean, I get it. I understand
Yeah.
that you're passionate about all that
Oh,
stuff,
yeah.
but man, it takes a person. And I know this because I know what but just a little bit I do, not even comparing to what you do. And I know that I got to see it through for it to happen, like to get things done. And I know what that's like. So, man, I love that, Claudia. That's amazing.
Well, we do fly up by the seat of our pants.
Well,
Jessi's the organizer.
that's just how those things work. Like if you didn't, there wouldn't be a Care Center of Southaven, to be honest with
Yep.
you. If you plan too much sometimes, like it just ain't going to happen.
Nope.
Like sometimes you
You got to make room.
just got to go. You know
Yep.
what I mean? And it's like, well, I'm going to do what I do till I hit a wall here and I'll take a lift and we'll
Yeah.
figure out what
we'll
to
see
do
what
next.
happens.
We'll see what happens.
Trust
So,
it. Just keep
so
trusting.
those essential things that you need with the benevolence packages, that's huge. So if any of y'all are listening out there that want to be a part of this, and just reach out to them, see the needs, man. Like, whether it's a service they provide or it's something to volunteer, donate money, items, all these things they don't run off air. I can tell you that.
Yeah, and
So,
if you have a giving spirit, it doesn't matter what skill you have.
Yeah.
Just come in. You don't have to have a degree.
sure.
Just come in.
Yeah,
And
if you got love.
If you got
that's
love,
one of it, man.
yes.
That's just the main thing I always say. Just no agenda, just love, man. You know, what I mean, if that's what you want to call it, then yeah, that's what we're after. So just care for others. And in some cases, it may be the father that's needing a little bit of help with his child. Because we focus a lot on these women, and I understand that's what it's all about. But there's some dads raising infants.
There are.
And we encourage their involvement. So we do see the ladies like initially privately because of confidentiality
Sure,
and HIPAA.
sure.
And then we'll say, did you want them to join you?
Sure.
So we'll retrieve them from the waiting room.
Yeah.
And then we have fun.
Yeah, absolutely. I think a lot of dads want to be involved in all of it.
Oh, yeah.
So
And they don't understand. Many times there's tremendous conflict during pregnancy because of the women's hormonal variations.
Sure.
And they have mood swings,
Yeah.
like off the charts.
by the way, folks, that don't stop at the babies.
Well,
No, I'm just joking, baby. I wasn't talking about you. My loving wife, Hannah Lee. I wasn't talking about you. Yeah.
we kind of categorize dads too, because we would probably categorize him. He's like the jokester. And when
Yeah.
they tell us they have jokester dads, we go, oh no.
Oh, yeah, I
They're
was the worst,
teasing.
man. I'm making light of everything in there. I'm just making all kinds of jokes. Yeah.
And they're like, well, did you turn her look?
Yeah.
She's very sensitive because the elbows are, she knows I'm kidding.
Yeah,
I go,
yeah.
look at her. The tears are streaming down
That
her
is
face.
true. And I think that is something that probably we as men, part of our protection mode is being funny and making jokes and
trying to distract.
Yeah, trying to distract. And here she is. She's just ready to, you don't know what's happening to her on the inside because she don't even know what's happening to her on the inside. And you're just inflaming the situation by saying wild. I'm probably guilty of that for sure. I know that 100%. So we
can get a dialogue,
That's right.
And if you're pointing it out, like you can just tell how they're posturing.
Sure.
They're stiff as boards.
Yeah.
or he's touchy-feely and she's getting up because she doesn't want to be touched right now, but he doesn't know that because her nerve endings are sensitive.
Oh, yeah, man. Like, all these things. So,
just to get them talking, and you could see the relationships restored. We've had a lot of big drama. They storm out of the place, and it's World War III, and we just settle it down and again, get it back to basics.
Sure. You know what's ironic about this whole thing is like some of the places that I deal with, from the House of Grace to you to, I can name off a bunch of them, Precious and Pink, places like that. Nobody had a formal background in any of these things. The lady that started House of Grace, she wasn't a domestic violence victim or survivor or had any training. She just seen a need in the community. Same as you. Did you know Miss Katie?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So, I'm talking about with that. Like, just same as you did, just had this this need in the community. And it's like, hey, man, we're just going to do it. We're, no training, no whatever. And the same thing with like Miss Ann Lunsford down there. I mean, she was just
I know Ann.
Same thing. Like all of a sudden, she's never been an addict or anything. Mm-hmm. Like, and she has a women's home, for rehabilitation. They come straight from jail a lot of times to her. And
she provides a home, a place.
Yeah, man, and provides a place for them to recover and heal. That's what I'm talking about. Like the what it takes for people like you and them as well. It's special. It really is. With no formal training or background, any of this stuff, you just kind of go, nobody's doing that. Let me do it, So that's pretty cool stuff. Now, that being said, is there any other option, like things that y'all provide services for that we need to talk to the audience today about?
Well, and housing, that's a problem, which we talked before, and that's not resolved here.
Man, no.
So,
and it's getting worse here, if anything.
It is. We're growing.
The cost, the lack of housing apartments and affordable apartments on top of that. So no real help with that, Mississippi. We talked about how it's, and I say that, I'll say it for you. We didn't talk about this on air, but, don't come here if you got, like, you're looking for some help from the state of Mississippi, because they ain't coming. They don't give nothing for free. Yeah. So, it relies on people like yourselves and people that are, the community, the churches and things like that to kind of help support these systems. And it's because the state just don't do it. They got grants you can write for, but they're minimal. And if you take them, then they tell you what you're going to do with the money, right. And that's hard at times, So it's almost like you don't want to take the money because it's so restrictive.
There's
and
oversight.
And it's not that it's bad, but it's like they want to send somebody from their area up here, to be involved in what you're doing. It's taking resources away from our community. And I'm just, so sometimes it's better off not to take the money, so to be honest with you. But again, it goes back to like, this is a pull yourself up by your bootstrap state. That's how they see it. Our government does. And shame on them. I think they're all sorry as a dog for the way that they look at people, man. Like our whole government, I'm not saying like our local politicians, but like the ones who really can do something about it, that can make some decisions, they don't give a damn about the people. Yeah. They say they do, but we just seen that with our ice storm. How long did it take them to get up here? You know what I mean? Our local community did amazing, like our city and our county facility. They did amazing, by the way.
And neighbors. I had my neighbors coming out, shoveling the streets.
Well, I was just talking about the municipalities and the government level. The state of Mississippi dropped the ball, and as they do on everything else. You want a free lunch program? No, we're not going to do that. Federal money to help with this? No, y'all just keep that because then y'all be wanting us to do certain things with. They don't want they don't want that. They don't want it in their backyard. They don't want people coming here for services because if you provide an open door to help folks, then they think they're all going to come here, and it's not in our backyard is their theory. So that's shameful at this day and time with the amount of people. That might have worked 50 years ago. It don't work here no more because the people are here. They need the services. They need the help, and thankfully people like you got involved and did something about it.
Yeah. And you, and all involved.
Yeah, but it takes a pioneer. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'd say you started one of the first ones. And I know there's other people like that started some places around here in time, like Miss Billy Wilhite. She was involved, if you know her, she was involved with starting some places, upstarts from fire departments to whatever. I mean, Care. I mean, I think they had a doctor's office similar back in the day. But you're talking about 50 years ago, you know. because DeSoto County was very small back then. You know what I mean? Like, so towns were only identified in the early 70s, like in the Horn Lake. Yeah, I think it was like 73 before it became a town. And so if you get out to where I live out in Walls, there's still very little resources out there. You know, like they're still just kind of trying to find their way. Yeah. So I live in the county portion of it, but again, you know, it's like providing. When you think about it, it's like, well, yeah, I like living in the country. Yeah, but you still need certain services. You know, that has to be provided.
And I don't think, you know, people would say, well, they're just trying to take, you know, they're just coming to take.
No, but that's how they see it. That's how the state
the other
people,
side.
Yeah.
Or no, even individuals. But we see it as there's an emergency. There's a situation that we're giving them a leg up.
That's right.
And once they get on their feet, because we've seen it, we've helped people over a protracted period of time, and even I was beginning to wonder. But then, sure enough, they get on their feet. And they're coming back with donations. Yeah.
That's what I was talking about earlier.
The
like
bassinets, the strollers, and they're more than what we gave them because they're on their feet and they're paying back.
That's right.
So that's why I can't put price tags on items we'd be giving them because they're coming back in.
We see like it's a domino effect. Like, you know, hopefully it'll come full circle in that domino.
It does.
You know,
it really does.
That's kind of how I look at it. I always don't look at the cost of the immediate because I know it'll come back in spades, so to speak. You know, it'll come back around to me. I don't keep score, like I said, and I think that's what you're doing too. Like, let's just help them until they can help themselves. Yeah. It's a hand up. You know, is what it is. And I think it's everybody sometimes needs that. Second, third, and fourth chances, you know, like nobody's perfect. You know, we all make mistakes, you know, every day in our lives, you know, and it's simple things to real major things. And I don't look at like, you know, in a situation like where it's a young lady or even someone that's in their 30s or 40s or a teacher, unexpected pregnancy, you know, or unwanted pregnancy, but y'all are there to help them walk through this.
Walk through it.
Absolutely.
Mentally.
We've had ladies. Yeah. I mean, not just teenagers, 20, 30, 40, 50.
Yeah. 50?
Look, yes.
Lord have mercy.
I know. Yeah. Needless to say, they're shocked.
I bet they are.
Pressure is sky high.
My goodness. Like, well, I'd be like, man, just give me, I don't even know what I do. Yeah.
We could tell. It's like, oh my goodness. So we come back 15 minutes to get the blood pressure again because otherwise it's, oh, what am I going to do? I can't
What's the oldest
it.
pregnancy you've seen?
50.
50.
She was 51.
Oh,
maybe?
Man. I bet that lady was like I didn't even know that's possible.
Someone the other day, and she was 45, had never been pregnant.
Oh, wow.
And they had always wanted to be. We hear this often. And nothing. And then they get to 35, 45, 47, and they're pregnant. Can't believe it.
That is amazing. And, you know, it gets riskier with age, and that's something y'all can help walk them through, too. You know, as you get older, I guess after the age of 35, it becomes a higher risk type scenario. I've heard that in the past. But sometimes when I've heard that story before about many times, you know, you're just so desperate to get pregnant. You know, it's all you want in your life's a baby, you know, and you're just like, man, this time, this is going to be it. You know what I mean? And so when you finally get away from that and you kind of give up with the thought of it, and it's just like you're living your life and your body's relaxed and it's not like just...
You're not stressing.
You're not stressing about it.
It's like, boom.
All of a sudden,
baby time.
All of a sudden you got triplets on the way, man.
Actually, yes.
That's the way it works.
Had that, triplets.
Yeah. So it is. And so, you know, just helping the body and the mind relax kind of gives them probably a path to that, you know, and if it's going to happen, it happens because it's such an amazing thing to take place anyway. Yeah. You know, I was seeing something like the numbers, the mathematical equation or whatever it comes out to be of the chances of you even being here as an individual. The odds are against you. Right. You know what I mean? So
absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. So every person that gets pregnant, I know it's not always a wanted thing. It's like, oh, this is bad timing, but it truly is a gift. You know, it really is. So, you know, because there's lots of people out there. My daughter's like that right now. You know, they're wanting to have a baby, and they're going to have to probably look at adopting and working on that. There's people out there that want that child. You know what I mean? And they'll raise it and love it. So those are the things to be thoughtful of.
She needs to be on her prenatal vitamins.
Yes, that's right.
Faithfully every day. Ahead of time. Increase her folic acid.
Yeah. Folic acid. I think they've been on it too, man. Yeah, they just.
Prenatals?
Yeah, all that stuff. Yeah, they're working on it. But I'm going to have them come see you.
Yes.
That's right.
Yes. I'm over here like.
Yeah, I'm just going to send them to you. Do you hear that, Ashley?
Yeah. Booklet made up. Me too, actually.
Absolutely, yeah. But anyway, guys, I want to thank y'all for coming in today. I appreciate the time. I think we hit all the major points of what we wanted to get across today about the Care Center of Southaven. So, anything else you want to talk to people?
Yes, thank you for this platform.
Yeah.
It's amazing
Well,
that you've got this in your heart to do.
Man, we're still trying to build on it. You know, all I ask people is see it, associate with it, share it, like it, follow it. And that way we can kind of build on the platform for the community and we can continue this thing because it is something that, you know, I pay for out of my pocket. My buddy Randy with RoofWorks helps me with it. You know, it's not a money making game, man. Like we're in it for the real reasons. You know, it's not a money maker. I've had people want to advertise, but if it don't fit the agenda, I'm just not interested.
Nice.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm not really into it for that reason. So it's not about money. It's about helping others. So, and I hope we help y'all get some attention. That's kind of the goal. So,
Thank you.
yeah,
Yes.
you're welcome.
Very grateful.
You're
God's
welcome.
going to bless you for this effort.
Thank you.
Bless
I
you so
appreciate
far.
that.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
No.
I do. So remember, guys, go and follow them on Facebook of the Care Center. And it'll just pop up as Care Center. Southaven, Mississippi is where it's located. You can also, their website is www.careprc.org. Their email is cprc@careprc.org. That's a mouthful, by the way. Yeah, a lot of tongue twisters. So, Care Center of Southaven, their telephone number, by the way, is 662-280-1202. And, you know, it's a pregnancy resource center, medical clinic, all services provided for the mother and the child. So remember that. Thank you again, Miss Claudia. Thank you, Miss Jessi.
you.
Yes, thank
Appreciate it. And guys, remember, follow, like, share. I appreciate it because that's how we get the word out about this awesome Jeep we're going to give away for Feed My, I almost said Feed My Lamb because that's a big program on fundraise too, but for Fancy Nancy Foundation and for the House of Grace. Thank you guys. Till next time. Bye.